Ever pondered if aliens walk among us? Well, meet the coconut crab, our terrestrial extraterrestrial. Now, imagine the largest land-dwelling crustacean on the planet. A creature so big and so outlandish, it seems to have sprung straight from a sci-fi movie. That's the coconut crab for you folks. This behemoth, which can grow up to a meter from leg to leg and tip the scales at over 9 pounds, is a sight to behold. It's not just the size that's mind-boggling. Picture a creature that can climb trees with the agility of a squirrel and crack coconuts with its bare claws. Yes, you heard it right. Despite being a crab, it's more of a tree-dwelling, coconut-cracking conundrum. Its name, the coconut crab, is not just a fancy moniker. It's a testament to its astonishing ability to husk coconuts using nothing but its powerful claws. A feat, let me remind you, that's usually reserved for machetes or very determined humans. These crabs can be found scuttling around on islands across the Indian Ocean and parts of the Pacific Ocean. To say they look out of place would be an understatement. With their spindly legs, armored bodies, and giant claws, they seem more at home on a distant alien world than in the tropical paradises they inhabit. Their life cycle is equally perplexing. These crabs start their lives in the ocean, as tiny larvae. They then undergo a series of transformations, each more bizarre than the last, until they become the land-dwelling giants we know. But here's where things get really interesting. Some have proposed the theory that these crabs are not of this world, that they are, in fact, aliens. Yes, you heard me right, aliens. It's a wild theory, but one that's not entirely without merit. After all, how else do you explain a creature that seems to defy all logic and reason? So with these alien-like features, could the coconut crab be a visitor from another planet? Get ready to dive deeper into this theory. What makes a creature alien? Let's examine the coconut crab through the lens of this theory. Let's start with the basics. The coconut crab, also known as the robber crab or palm thief, is not your everyday crustacean. It's the largest terrestrial arthropod in the world, reaching up to 3 feet in length from leg to leg and weighing as much as 9 pounds. That's about the same size as a small dog. This alone defies the norms of what we consider typical for terrestrial crabs. But it's not just the size that sets the coconut crab apart. It's the strength. These creatures have the ability to lift items almost 60 times their weight. Imagine a human lifting a car. Sounds impossible, right? Well, not for a coconut crab. They're called coconut crabs for a reason. They can climb trees and crack open coconuts with their powerful claws. Aside from their size and strength, coconut crabs also have another unique ability. They can breathe without water. While most crabs breathe through gills and need to be near water, coconut crabs have developed a special organ called a branchiostegal lung that allows them to breathe air, just like we do. This extraordinary adaptation allows them to live on land permanently. And let's not forget about their lifespan. In the world of crabs, living for more than a decade is considered a long life. But the coconut crab, it can live for up to 60 years. That's right, 60. That's longer than some species of turtles and birds, and definitely way beyond the lifespan of an average crab. Now, let's consider the coconut crab's nocturnal lifestyle. These creatures are primarily active at night, adding another layer of mystery to their alien-like persona. They hide in burrows during the day and emerge only when the sun goes down. This behavior is quite unusual for crabs, further fueling the theory of their extraterrestrial origin. The coconut crab's diet is another aspect that's hard to ignore. While most crabs are omnivores, feasting on a mix of plant matter and small animals, the coconut crab's diet is a whole different story. It feeds on fruits, nuts, seeds, and the pith of fallen trees, but that's not all. It's also been known to eat other crabs, tortoise hatchlings, and even its own discarded exoskeleton. A cannibalistic crab? That's definitely not something you see every day. So let's recap. We have a gigantic, tree-climbing, coconut-cracking, air-breathing, nocturnal, long-lived, cannibalistic crab. Doesn't it seem like the coconut crab possesses abilities that are out of this world? But there's more. Are there any other factors that make the coconut crab an alien? You bet. For starters, let's talk about love. Now, we're not ones to pry into personal matters, but the coconut crab's mating rituals are just too bizarre to ignore. Unlike most of their crabby cousins, coconut crabs don't do the typical dance and chase. Instead, they engage in a marathon love fest that can last up to 12 hours. 12 hours, folks? That's longer than most seasons of your favorite binge-worthy shows. And here's the kicker. They do this on land. Totally out of character for a creature with the word crab in its name. But the weirdness doesn't stop there. These crabs have an uncanny ability to regulate their own body temperature. While most crabs are cold-blooded, relying on the environment to control their body heat, coconut crabs take matters into their own claws. They can adjust their internal thermostat to stay comfortable, whether they're chilling in the shade or soaking up the sun. It's like they have their own built-in HVAC system. How's that for high-tech? And then there's the whole not needing to return to the sea to breed thing. Most crabs have a life cycle that's tied to the ocean. They mate on land, then scuttle back to the water to release their eggs. But not the coconut crab. Oh no, this rebel decides to buck the trend and lay its eggs on land. And when those little ones hatch, they don't scuttle off to the sea like typical crab larvae. No, they stick around on land, living the terrestrial life from the get-go. It's like they're saying, see, what see? We're landlubbers through and through. These peculiarities are enough to raise a few eyebrows. But it's when we put them all together that we start to see a bigger picture. A picture of a creature that doesn't quite fit the mold of what we expect from a crab. A creature with characteristics that seem, well, alien. We're looking at a crab that doesn't act like a crab. It has marathon mating sessions on land, it can control its own body temperature, and it doesn't need the sea to breed. These aren't just quirks. They're departures from the norm that suggest the coconut crab might not be from around here after all. So, what's the deal with the coconut crab? Is it a terrestrial anomaly, a product of evolution gone wild? Or could it be something more? Could it be, dare we say it, an alien? With all these peculiarities, it's hard not to believe that the coconut crab is an alien. But what does science say about this? Is the coconut crab an alien or a terrestrial misfit? Let's see what the scientists say. As the largest land-living arthropod in the world, the coconut crab certainly has a few features that make it seem, well, out of this world. With its massive pincers, striking blue color, and its uncanny ability to climb trees and crack open coconuts, it's easy to see why some might think this creature hails from a galaxy far, far away. But don't let its alien-like appearance fool you. According to scientists, the coconut crab is very much a product of evolution on our own planet. It's a member of the family Coenobitidae, a group of terrestrial hermit crabs. This family, like all life on Earth, has been shaped by millions of years of natural selection and adaptation to changing environments. The coconut crab lives in the coastal forest regions of many Indo-Pacific islands. Here, it has adapted to a unique lifestyle that involves climbing trees, hunting for food, and yes, cracking open coconuts with its powerful claws. It's actually this adaptation that earned it the name coconut crab. While it's tempting to get swept up in fantastical theories, it's crucial to remember that the coconut crab, like all creatures, plays a vital role in its ecosystem. It's a scavenger, cleaning up the forest floor by consuming dead animals, fruits, and nuts. In doing so, it helps to keep the environment healthy and balanced. But the coconut crab's existence is threatened. Habitat loss, pollution, and hunting have all contributed to a decline in coconut crab populations. This is why it's so important that we work to preserve these creatures and their habitats. So, while the coconut crab may not be an alien, it certainly is a terrestrial wonder that deserves our admiration and protection. After all, who needs extraterrestrials when we have such incredible creatures right here on Earth?